In 2017 alone, more than 330,000 migrants made asylum claims, and less than 40% of those were found to have merit. The current system has been unable to keep up with the flood of asylum seekers, which has led to a backlog of more than 800,000 cases, according to the DHS. Now, with several large caravans making their way north to the U.S. border, the Trump administration is deploying more than 7,000 troops to help. Their commander, Northcom General Terrence O'Shaughnessy, recently toured the South Texas border to see the need firsthand.
We've been given a very important task to help harden the ports of entry and try to make sure that our Customs and Border personnel can handle the vast numbers that we're expecting to see in this migration.
Okay, so this is downtown El Paso. We're right on the border fence here. That's Juarez, Mexico, across the Rio Grande there. You can see the river is very shallow right now. You can walk right across it very easily, and many people do. They do that in this area a lot because this fence is what they call the old tortilla curtain. It's so easy to breach in today's environment that it needs to be replaced, and that's actually exactly what they're doing. If you look over here to my right, you can see some construction going on. That's them in the process of installing new and much more substantial fence, but that's not part of Trump's border wall. The reason that they're putting this in now is because this area has become really, really busy with migrants crossing illegally, and when they do that, it's extremely expensive for the American taxpayer.
I mean, we're starting to see diseases that we hadn't seen in decades here. Smallpox, chickenpox, all of that. You add that to the cost of the removal proceedings. You add that to the dangers that we as a community face, and people don't realize that.
The Trump administration recently announced a new measure to discourage illegal border crossers. Anyone caught entering the country illegally will not be eligible for asylum. It's a controversial move, but it doesn't mean the migrants will be turned away. The military on the border is working long hours to help the Border Patrol prepare to handle thousands of legal asylum seekers.
Specifically, they're initially looking for that engineering capability that will allow us to harden the points of entry and make sure that we are able to provide barricades, provide an ability for them to be able to process large numbers of migrants that will come in.
The men and women of the Border Patrol are very glad for the help, but they say in the long run, what they really need is a wall.
If you just look, I mean, to cut through this is going to take a lot more than it is to cut through with just, I mean, I could use my Leatherman, I could take it out, and I could cut through that. This, I mean, it's been repaired all the way through. It's just section after section like this where it's been cut.
By entering the United States at a place not designated as a port of entry, you are committing a crime. And we need to make sure that in the metropolitan areas we have the best barrier we can have to give us the right amount of time so that we can persuade people not to come across, and if not, then we can make a safe apprehension. It buys us time.
In the meantime, with more than 1,000 migrants a day attempting to cross the Rio Grande, the Border Patrol will take all the help they can get, and the U.S. military is answering the call. From El Paso, Texas, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.